chamber pressure looks good.
Mach 1, LS5 and Starliner are now supersonic. Vehicle now throttling up.
Up next in about 20 seconds, Starliner's 2 solid rocket boosters will run out of fuel and burn out.
And we have indication of SRB jettison. And we have BECO, booster engine cutoff. We have successful staging. Pre-start on the RL-10s. We have ignition on both RL-10s. Centaur's now gone to closed loop steering.
Just passed through several milestones. Teams here on the ground reporting that all are looking good. Ascent cover jettison there. That provided that aerodynamic structure to the top of the Starliner, protected the docking equipment during ascent.
And we have confirmation of Starliner separation.
And Starliner is flying alone on its way to orbit. Confirm good LV separation. Thanks, ULA, for a smooth ride to space, and thank you, Dylan, for your help on that ascent commentary.
One minute to contact. Inside 3 meters. Quiet in the control room. Contact, capture.
Soft capture confirmed.
And you can see it physically. The NASA docking system ring that's on board the Boeing Starliner is retracting. You can see the spacecraft itself get closer to the International Space Station. In the meantime, the space station's attitude control systems themselves have been configured to allow for this hard dock sequence. They have to be in a certain configuration.
Thrusters are disabled for hard mate. Copy, thrusters disabled for hard mate.
All right, and it looks like the hatch is open to the Starliner. We're getting Bob Hines is the first astronaut to enter Starliner in orbit, successfully opening up the hatch. This view coming from the Starliner itself.
Well, we had the privilege and the honor of watching Starliner arrive yesterday, We were able to acquire the vehicle 12 to 15 kilometers out or so, and we got to watch it all the way through, and it was really spectacular to see this beautiful vehicle arrive here yesterday. So that was really special for us. Parked out on the doorstep for a little while, resolving some minor issues, but those are the kinds of things we expect in flight test, and that is why we do tests. If we didn't find something like that, we're probably doing something wrong. So it was a highly successful mission yesterday. It was great to have Starliner on board, and we have the opportunity to open the hatch and just enjoy it and see the new vehicle that is coming to station and bringing a new capability.
About a minute and a half for the hooks to completely open. Separation confirmed, Starliner. Undocking complete. This undocking coming just as the ISS and Starliner.
Houston on 2, Starliner has established the expected opening rate. Trajectory is nominal. Expect OF-1 in 22 minutes at a range of 170 meters. She copies OF-1 at 170 meters, and looks like good separation. Houston concurs.
Good words from the crew aboard the International Space Station. They're seeing a good separation as well. That separation time, right on time, 1:36 p.m. Central Time. The International Space Station and Starliner were 257 statute miles over the northern border of Singapore.
And there are our very first shots of Starliner from the WD-57.
Starliner's still got about 8 minutes left in this flight and hasn't even begun deploying its heat shield yet. That'll start here in just the next few minutes. Still about 3 minutes away before the first parachutes begin to deploy, and of course before that we'll see the forward heat shield come off.
And the forward heat shield has now jettisoned. That heat shield protected the spacecraft through those thermal loads during re-entry, and drogues are out.
2 drogue parachutes slowing Starliner's speed and drag. They're going to reef to a wider opening and slow Starliner down enough for the main chutes to deploy in less than a minute. View here from the ground tracker.
And mains are now out. We see 3 parachutes coming out here. Starliner has another 8,000 feet toward the landing. Those 3 parachutes are starting to inflate now. You can see them right there on your screen.
And the main parachutes are reefing open right there. Continue slowing Starliner down.
3 good main parachutes. Looking good. And there goes the big base heat shield right there in front of you. It just jettisoned. You can see it falling away from the spacecraft. It will reveal the airbags that will cushion Starliner's landing.
Ground trackers on site in New Mexico. Just seconds left.
You can see the mountains coming into frame there. We're getting very close to the ground. And touchdown, Starliner. We're touching down in the desert of New Mexico, marking the completion of Orbital Flight Test 2. And that touchdown coming at 5:49 p.m. Central Time, almost exactly 6 days into the mission. Just a beautiful touchdown in White Sands this evening. Our landing recovery teams will now wait for clearance before making their way to the vehicle. So see exactly what we expected to see with the crew module returning through that hot entry interface. You can see that black marking there on the left side of it. There's another one on the exact opposite side. And it's the same thing we saw after our last flight. These are just proof that the ablative material that is wrapping around Starliner is doing its job when it is able to protect the crew module as it comes back through the hottest part of its ride home.